one of the main reasons why people get confused and frustrated on the digital atmosphere is because they have this huge dream that is not yet a clear vision. Hey beautiful soul, this is Aline, your content strategist, and in today's video I want to share with you some primary goals you can set to get started creating an online content strategy. But before we begin, share your love with your like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already. Well, there is so much confusion on what to do next online because we keep following trends but haven't really sit down to think strategically on something that worked for us. Because of that, we may start doing a bunch of things, being in every social media, trying to magically make people listen to us, listening to every YouTuber's strategy and trying it with hopes that it finally works. And maybe we're really passionate about a cause. Maybe you are, and you have this dream, and you think that if you make a piece of content or workshop or collabs, finally people will listen to you. But the truth is, nobody's going to deliver as a prize drug this dream of yours, like having a #1 podcast interviewing successful people, for example. Maybe you want to build a platform that helps to shelter vulnerable women. Whatever you're passionate about, I'm sure you can achieve it. But in order for you to get started and creating something really worthwhile, you need to make a difference at their lives at a one-on-one basis first. So you can start putting this vision together with this movement that comes with practice. That's right. Your vision comes with practice. And this is the probable reason why many of conscious co-creation practitioners have a hard time acting on their business idea. They are waiting for inspiration and it will never come, so they freeze. An idea, yes, it's a seed, and the thought makes that seed develop, but the development needs movement. For your thought to develop, you need action. So if you don't have a primary goal towards that idea, well, you are not developing your thought to have a clear moving picture of what exactly it is that you want to run smoothly when it comes to that idea. I'm giving you an example to make it easier. When I had the idea of selling vegan candy, I had this idea of selling chocolate and healthy candy, vegan candy, at least 50 per day. But when testing it, I realized that it was a lot of work selling on the streets and learning business at the same time. And I would love to have more flexibility. Don't get me wrong, I do love to cook for myself and friends, but I discovered that not so much when it comes to be obliged to produce a larger amount of sweet food in a day-to-day basis. So all the previous strategy in the world wouldn't help me, because at the end I wouldn't implement it to its fullest. So before you paralyze trying to have all figured out, start testing it the way you can, as I did with the vegan candy. And at the movement, you will get a clear vision of the kind of business that you want to build. We are all blind to a lot of aspects, mainly concerning ourselves and others. But if we want to get the essence of what is it that we're looking for and people are looking for, we need to move and start implementing, even with baby steps, the way we can with the resources that we've got. Some wise person said already that the humans are always searching to materialize transcendental values like love, freedom, harmony, organization, wisdom. In other words, we are all figuring things out. So we need primary goals to keep us moving. And this video is about that. So should your primary goal be how much you want to earn, like mine was? Well, probably have the answer to that. Although it's important to have that in mind, online business goals needs to be more connected to how many people we want to impact. And the thermometer is, do you already impact people on a one-on-one basis? Remember that. Why I say that? Because if you're not serving a soul yet, a single soul yet, it gets hard for you to measure impact, get feedback on how to serve better and improve it. So where can you start if you are new and providing services in exchange for money? The obvious choice is not always obvious, but you can start with yourself. Me, for example, when I decided to expose myself online and apply strategies, I was the guinea pig. Then I understood what really was hard to do, what were my abilities that I didn't know I had, and the abilities that I thought I had, but I didn't. And I started developing some skills also. Just get clear on this. An ability is something that you know how to do. Well, you know how to cook, you know how to clean, you know how to make an art, for example. I know how to conduct someone on a conversation, how to find out how to improve abilities and develop skills, how to discover how to use an app or software to lead a project, etc. And on the other hand, the skills are something we do well, really good. For me, for example, my skills, I have skills on graphic design, editing raw videos, a bunch of others too. So what you do really well that you know that you can do. Knowing that now, you know that your number one goal, that you can create content, right, for is to have the first clients. And you don't need too much communication skills if you have a great networking environment already, but perhaps you don't, and you can find those clients online, developing your network, okay? And you don't even need to be like a really pro professional in social media. With this first goal, your aim is to understand the problems, the solutions they face, the transformation you're providing, and also, very important, if you want to continue serving people on that direction. How about if you pass this goal? The number two goal is, if you already have clients, is to niche down, to understand really who is your ideal client that can support you, your financial needs, and that you really get along, because you need to replicate this client with your content. Hear me, you don't want to work with anybody, especially if you are serving directly and with lots of contact. Remember that if you work with someone you don't get along, it's hard to give them results as well as for them to be satisfied with your service. Understand with whom you work best and go for it. In this goal, you are building a bestseller product. In other words, a specific tested solution for a specific problem and person. If you do already have a product, you have created it from your experience with people, or you are using someone else's product framework, like a strategic package or a methodology. In both cases and scenarios, if you are not attracting clients, you need to adjust your strategy, and the probable cause is setting wrong goals, like being famous and having likes, or trying to impress someone. Make sure that you understand that you can dream big, but that dream involves people being served with valuable quality products, especially designed for them. That means that you can have the goal of being a pop star or a best-selling author, but for you to get there is going to take strategy. And if you can get a soul to read willingly one sentence of what you write, yet, well, it's going to be hard to make a million souls read it. It doesn't matter how good your marketeer might be if you also, on the other hand, have some difficulties on your communication and selling your stuff. Well, and if you don't lead, you lead your partners, where you go in your vision, it's going to get hard for your marketeer to work for you. I say this with lots of love because I realize that there are many specialists that are great at what they do, but they don't communicate it as much good, you know? They don't know how to sell themselves. So you can have all the experience in the world, you can have lots of people, but if you cannot handle communication, camera, and people asking you stuff, well, no marketeer in the world is gonna make a miracle. I'm just keeping it real for you to develop a content strategy that gets you where you want to be step by step. Building foundations first so you don't spend a huge amount of money trying to launch yourself and not retaining people's attention to make an offer at the end. Don't think for a minute it's only necessary to have money and that's it. If that was the case, all the Lotto millionaires would still be millionaires. So you need to learn how to serve in a new environment, and the only way to do it is learning first how to land your communication if you already have like a good product. So people can trust you with their issues. Remember, first listen to what people need and then get good at being a leader when delivering it. That's the only way to serve with valuable products, because you can have a diamond, like I said, and people don't even care if you don't lead as a diamond holder. And before we go to the goal number 3, share your love, clicking on the like button. So the goal number 3, now you can really think about expanding the services to your ideal client with other products and services, satellite products, and start getting really good at working with a specific niche, building partnerships, because people are already feeling good with you. Now you have a picture on how to solve more problems for the same kind of person, and you can really make it work with collabs and co-producing stuff. So in this goal number 3, you essentially, with all the information that you gather, building more and more products and services around your niche. Remembering that it's always easier to sell something for the same person, the same client, than it is to acquire a new one. Okay, so the next and final goal is goal number 4, where you can start expanding your online team and establishing a scaled structure for your clients and for your business to grow, maybe even into another business, replicating and improving what is already working and reaching more and more and more and more people. So in this last stage, it's like you're building, escalating this strategy that started small and then branched out to a lot of different products and made them work. And now, injecting more money, you can build other companies like satellite companies and reach more people, more markets everywhere. That's a dream, right? So this is the goal number 4. And as you can see, for each goal setting stage, there are different strategies, and you can even move fast enough when guided. You can also set smart goals, complementing this, making it more specific and putting a date to it. It's important also to know that the best strategy is always the one that uses the least amount of content to achieve the outstanding results. That's why a copywriter that writes one piece of communication that converts like crazy earns more than a columnist. Let me remind you what business content is before we finish this video. A content is any piece of information given to someone else that can make a connection, educate, or lure attention to a solution or a product solution. In other words, content influences and sells. Here we're talking content on the perspective of marketing, okay? So content is graphic design, blog posts, articles, videos, audios, text, forms, ads, email, even a telephone call can be the result of a content if you are utilizing a script someone else or yourself produced for this telephone call. And the strategic content has like the thought factor behind it, the intention to distribute a content that is really intended to achieve the primary goal first and is aligned with the long-term goal. So now we got to the end of this video, and I want to know, what kind of goal are you setting yourself? Primary goal. Is the number 1, number 2, number 3, or 4? I would love to know. Please share with us in this community, commenting below this video. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And if you haven't subscribed it yet, do it now. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Doom tech, tech doom tech, doom tech, tech doom tech.